All right, nearly 1 in 5 trucks pulled over at a roadside inspection gets shut down on the spot. And the number one reason? Something a 15-minute pre-trip would have caught. Today I'm walking you through the exact CDL pre-trip inspection checklist, step by step, the same way the examiner scores it on your CDL skills test, and the same way DOT officers evaluate you on the road. Whether you're studying for your CDL exam or you've been driving for years and want to tighten up your routine, this video's got you covered. And stick around because I'm going to show you the 3 mistakes that commonly get scored as automatic fails on the CDL exam, and most people don't practice them enough. Quick question for you, drop it in the comments. What's the one thing you always double check on your pre-trip, no matter what? I want to hear it. Throw it in the comments below. All right, look, this isn't about scaring you. It's about protecting your money, your CDL, and your business. According to FMCSA data, pre-trip inspections may help prevent thousands of accidents every year. And under federal law, that's 49 CFR 392.7, you can't operate your truck unless you've satisfied that specific safety components are in good working order. We're talking brakes, steering, lights, tires, horn, wipers, mirrors, and coupling devices. That's not a suggestion, that's the rule. Here's what we're covering today. I'm going to break the pre-trip into the 7-point walk-around method. That's the standard approach used in CDL training programs across the country. 1, engine compartment, what to check under the hood. 2, driver's side and front, the exterior walk. 3, rear of the vehicle, lights, doors, and trailer. 4, passenger side, mirror, the driver's side. 5, cab interior, gauges, controls, and safety gear. 6, air brake test, the part most people fail. 7 is your coupling system for anyone pulling a trailer. And at the end, I'll cover the 3 mistakes that commonly result in an automatic fail on the CDL skills test, the ones that trip people up every single time. A lot of drivers pop the hood and just glance around, but inspectors are looking for specific things, and so is the CDL examiner. With the engine off, check your fluid levels, oil, coolant, power steering. Look at belts and hoses, no cracks, no fraying, and belt free play should be about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch. Check that all wiring on the alternator is connected. Look at the water pump hoses. You should have no leaks. And don't forget the steering components. The steering gearbox, hoses, shaft, pitman arm, and drag link should all be secure and leak free. Brake defects alone made up roughly 41% of all vehicle out-of-service violations during the 2025 CVSA International Road Check, according to CVSA data. Many of those start with something you can spot under the hood, like a leaking brake chamber or a failing air compressor. Tire and lighting violations are the second most common reason trucks get shut down. During the 2025 road check, tire issues counted for over 21% of all vehicle out-of-service violations. Walk the full perimeter with all your lights on. On each side, check the following. Tires, use a thread depth gauge. Don't just eyeball it. You might be really good at that, but prove that you know how to use a tire depth gauge. Steer axle tires need a minimum of 4/32 of an inch. Drive and trailer tires need at least 2/32. Look for cuts, bulges, and make sure duals aren't touching each other. Lug nuts, tight, no rush streaks. Rush trails can indicate loosening. Lights, headlights, brake lights, turn lights, clearance lights, reflectors, all working, none cracked. Just because it's working, like if it is cracked but it's still working, it's a no-go. Make sure the housings aren't cracked. Okay, really important. Suspension, your springs, shocks, U-bolts. Make sure everything is all intact. At the rear, check your tail lights, ICC bar or underride guard, mud flaps, and make sure cargo doors are secure. Be surprised how many people don't have secure doors when they go to get inspected. Here's what catches people off guard. A tire can be 20% underinflated and still look completely normal to the eye. That's why the gauge matters, and missing your required warning devices like reflective triangles can get you cited or placed out of service depending on the situation. Now, here's where most people mess up on the actual CDL test. Drivers rush through the cab check because it feels like the easy part, but missing items here can fail you on the exam and cost you on the road. Sit in the back and check. Seatbelt function, parking brake engaged, all gauges operational, oil pressure, coolant temperature, voltometer, air pressure. Test your windshield wipers and washer fluid. Test the horn. Check your mirrors. They should be clean, properly adjusted, and the brackets should be tight. They shouldn't be all flopping around. All right. Emergency equipment. you're required to carry a properly charged fire extinguisher and a set of warning devices. Most drivers carry 3 reflective triangles, but fuses, liquid burning flares can also satisfy the requirement under 49 CFR 393.95. If your vehicle uses traditional fuses instead of circuit breakers, you also need spare fuses. Make sure everything's present and in working condition. Missing required emergency equipment is one of the easiest violations to avoid. According to FMCSA data, missing or uncharged emergency equipment is one of the most frequently cited violations during compliance reviews, and one of the simplest to prevent. The air brake check is the #1 reason people fail the CDL skills test. In most states, if you don't perform it in the correct sequence, it's scored as an automatic failure. Even if the rest of all of your inspection is completely solid, it's still gonna fail. So here's the sequence. 1. Build air pressure to get the governed cutout, typically around 120 psi, but check the normal operating range for your specific vehicle. 2. Turn off the engine, release the parking brake, and press the foot brake fully. This is the applied leakage test. 3. Watch the air pressure gauge. With the brake applied, it should not drop more than 3 psi in 1 minute for a single vehicle or 4 psi for a combination vehicle. Note, the static leak rate, no brake applied, is lower, typically no more than 2 psi per minute for a single vehicle or 3 psi for a combination. Your state CDL manual will specify which test the examiner expects. 4. With the engine still off, pump the brake pedal to drop air pressure. The low air warning, that's the buzzer or light, should activate before the pressure drops below 60 psi. 5. Continue pumping. The parking brake valve, that's the tractor protection valve on a combination, should pop out between 20 and 45 psi. If you only memorize one part of this video, make it this section. This is where exams are won or lost. Pass or fail. If you're pulling a trailer, the coupling system is a whole separate inspection that a lot of people skim over. Check that the fifth wheel is locked around the kingpin. No space between the upper and lower fifth wheel. Locking jaws should be closed. Release arm is in the lock position. The mounting bolts on the fifth wheel platform should all be tight. Landing gear is fully raised with the crank handle secure, and check your air and electrical lines. No leaks, no damage, all connections are super tight. Under 49 CFR 396.13, if the previous driver filed a DVIR, that's a driver vehicle inspection report, you're required to review it before you drive. And if the report listed any defects, you need to sign it to confirm the repairs were made or weren't necessary. That's on you. Not every trip will have a prior DVIR on file. When one exists, reviewing it is a separate requirement, and skipping it is one of the most common audit findings. All right, that's something that they're gonna go look for and poke around to try and find. All right, here are the 3 mistakes that commonly result in automatic fails on the CDL pre-trip skills test. Now, exact scoring can vary by state, so always check your state's CDL manual, but these come up again and again. 1. Ignoring the examiner's instructions. First listen, then do. If the examiner tells you to do something a certain way, do it that way. Doing your own version, even if it's technically correct, can fail you, because following directions is the first rule. And always use 3 points of contact getting in and out of the cab. All right, that's 2 feet in one hand or 2 hands and 1 foot. 3 points of contact. 2. Botching the air brake test. In most states, if you don't perform the air brake check in the correct sequence, that's scored as an automatic fail. Keep saying automatic fail, like this is redundant, but it's what it is. Practice this until it's muscle memory, okay? You should be able to do it blindfolded, half awake. That's what's gonna happen in real life. 3, not explaining what you're checking for. On the CDL exam, you don't just touch parts, you have to name them and explain what you're looking for. Saying, I'm checking the steering shaft for cracks, bends, or looseness is what passes. Silently tapping it does not. So just talk out loud like you're telling the person what you're doing, as if you were teaching a 5-year-old, right? If you found this helpful, hit that like button. It helps other truckers find this video, and that's a win for everybody. Let's bring it home. Here's what you need to remember. 1, follow the 7-point walk around every single time. No shortcuts, it takes 15 minutes, and it protects your CDL, your CSA score, and your livelihood, right? You do this for a living, take it seriously. 2, use a thread depth gauge and air pressure gauge. Your eyes aren't good enough for tires, and the air brake test is pass or fail with no gray area. 3, on the CDL exam, say what you're doing out loud. name the part, state the condition you're checking for, and move on. Now, if you're getting into trucking and you're trying to figure out your insurance, or if you're an owner-operator looking for better coverage, LogRock helps truckers like you get the right protection without overpaying. Get a free quote, the link's in the description below. It takes less than 5 minutes. And next, go watch our video on how to start a trucking business. It walks you through everything from getting your authority to finding your first loads. I'll link it right here. That's all I got. Stay safe out there. See you in the next video.